And actually, we'll find out where everybody's from. And regards to that, Lee's actually from. Both of us are from Canada,
neighboring province.
So you cut out there for a second, but yeah. So we're neighboring provinces in Canada. They're called provinces. Down in the States, for you guys, they're called states, obviously. So up here in Canada, they're called provinces. And yeah, so Lee's from Saskatchewan. Basically, Saskatchewan is known for nothing. Okay, what I mean is it's flat, and it's basically known for like not having any people. And it's known for farming. It's flat, so farming is popular. But hey, Lee makes it work, even with the geography completely against him. Like Lee, your town only has 250,000 people, and
Yeah.
but you still somehow make it work. But I'll introduce you formally here. So Lee. He does three things. He does bartending, and they're all kind of related to events, to rentals, to event rentals. He does bartending, he does photo booths, and he does like general events. So the tents, tables, and chairs that we all do, that we all know and love. So Lee, do you want to add to that introduction?
Okay, yeah, like I'm Lee, the bartending, photo boothing, rental guy. So what I did is I started a flair bartending business. So it's bottle flipping, fire tricks, molecular cocktails. It's more of a service, right? So we have staff of bartenders that comes in and runs events for people. And I started renting out portable bars. I've actually got one wrong way. Right here. This is one of my portable bars that I rent out. And just from there, photo booths and then rentals. So that's what I do, and I make videos about everything. So just like Les does.
Yeah. So check out his YouTube channel. He's actually quite. He posts a lot. He has quality videos, and if you're in the events business, you can definitely learn a lot. And I have an interesting question. So what was maybe you gotta like really dig deep, but what was the very first item that you ever rented? I think you mentioned it there, but maybe you had like a smaller item. I mean like the first item that you ever rented, because I'm curious.
Bars and glassware. I didn't even consider myself, I didn't even think about rentals. It was all just a big party when I started out, right? So bars and glassware, and bars were huge for me. With a bartending service, they rent out all the time for top dollar, but with a rental company, they never rent out. It's so seldom that they do rent out for me. But yeah, it's weird how that works. But yeah, that was my first item, was portable bars and glassware. So
right. So out of the three things you do, bartending, photo booths, and like general event rentals, bartending was your first, like you started with bartending.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the no money down venture, right? I started out, you just make a free website and people start booking you. And so I started from nothing. So, the photo booth and the rental company, it takes investment to make those ones happen.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like after you started renting out like the glassware and the bar, and I guess you kind of rented out yourself as a bartender, like what was your first item after that? Or I guess in this case, kind of your second item. Like what did you start adding on as your rentals to your
rentals? I didn't really get it at first, how I could be renting items. Instead, I started inventing services. So I made dry ice drinks, and then that was an add-on. And then I made fancy cocktail skewers where you can add certain garnishes, and that was an add-on. And they were like gourmet extra add-ons. So, I mean, I never really got into material items other than portable bars and glasswares till after the photo booths. It was always just, I just made up these imaginary services, and people ate them up. They still do. So Christmas parties are crazy every year with this stuff.
Right. So you started with bartending, then it seems like you got into photo booths, and then you got into like general event related rentals. Like what gave you the idea to do photo booths like all of a sudden? Were you just like bartending and you saw someone come in with a photo booth? Like I'm curious about that.
Okay, so I had a business partner at the time. We used to do all the bartending events together, and he was cruising on Kijiji, and he saw some lighting, and he bought it, and he said we should do a photo booth, and I said okay. We had got some money. I think we got $4,000 off of an event, and we turned around and put that $4,000 into a computer, a camera, and some lighting, and we just built a photo booth on our own and a printer, and that how we jumped into photo booths. And
Right. And if people don't know, actually, like Lee helped me start building my photo booth business. Like the portion of my rental business that's photo booths. Like Lee inspired me and then helped me. Like I built it all by myself. But Lee definitely gave me like the instructions. I would literally call him and be like, like what do I do now? And even though it's not like um impossible to make, it's certainly not trivial. There's definitely a few things there that you could definitely use some kind of help or guidance in making those. So I do want to give back to Lee over my lifetime now that he's now that his stuff is giving me more sales, which is like awesome. And by the way, photo booths for in the events business. Actually, you know what? No, photo booths aren't great. They're not great. You guys don't want to do photo booths. No photo booths for you. Don't worry about that.
you know what? Go to my channel. And photo booths are fantastic. I'll show you step by step how to build them, and just visit that. I've got videos, do-it-yourself videos. Just come check them out.
That's he has tons of videos. Now he's not gonna give you everything, okay? You guys got to do some legwork too. Like check his stuff out. You learn from it. But give him some watch time. Like watch those videos and like don't be lazy. You gotta give him some watch time before he reveals all his photo booth secrets.
Art Corrales for subbing to my channel. Sorry.
No. No, go ahead. Actually, go ahead. Say what you were saying.
He's just saying I'm here because I subbed to Lee's channel, so I was giving him a shout out.
Oh, nice, yeah. So like actually, let's get into like the gold of this. I don't know if it's really gold, but what's your most profitable item right now? Like you do all these items. What's your most profitable one?
Well, I'm pretty new to like pole tents and stuff like that, so I'd like to say that. But as you know, people are starting to like definitely call for it all the time now. But for items that I've actually rented, because I'm new, right? I'm about a year and a bit old. Tables and chairs is my big one, and obviously photo booths. But I don't know if that counts to what we're talking about. So
right. And do you have any like no? Okay, so this is the thing that everybody should know about Lee. Like he's just like getting into like he did a lot of bartending, and like I know you made quite a decent amount of money, but he's just getting into like events. Like I think you've been doing them for like just under a year and a half or something like that, right?
I came in midsummer last year, and I had like a pop-up tent and 3 tables, and now I'm in my garage here, and it's packed full of tables, chairs, glassware, tents, and I just started about a year ago and built up from there.
Yeah, and considering he's only been in the business 1 year, like if you're starting a business, like he is the small scale guy to like learn from. Like you can go to other channels and do that as well. But keep in mind they're going to be more established. I'm a bit more established. Adam from Tent Guy and other entrepreneur stuff is very established, and so like you can learn from him. But Lee has a different perspective. He has that small scale perspective. He's been doing it just for a year, and like look what he's built up. Like look behind him. Like that's pretty impressive. He didn't have any real money to start this, and he just like exploded. So no, he's a really good person to watch. in terms of like small scale stuff, because like he's moved fast, and when he says something, he does it. And like the background of his thumbnail right now is a testament to that. I think he has all sorts of stuff. So we were just talking about like kind of his most profitable items, because everybody wants to know that, and that's good information. Like we all want to know what's the best, what's the most profitable, because that's what we want to get into. If you're thinking about getting into events, Lee, Lee definitely has some ideas there. So
you have a video. I'm going to go back on this one more time. Profitable items. You have a video on pop-up tents that you did saying that they were one of your most profitable items. And I was watching your channel before me and you knew each other. And I think that was one of the main things that helped me break in as well with tables and chairs is doing pop-up tents. And lots of bigger rental companies. Sorry, there's a windstorm going on here. It just blew the door open. One sec.
And Art, we're going to answer your question here. In a second. So we're going to answer Art's question. So Lee, it looks like you're getting into uplighting. Is that true? Is this true?
Oh yeah, I've been in uplighting for, I don't know, I bought it about 4 or 5 months ago, and so it's just one of my items. I like to keep lots of items, so I actually only have 10 of these, but that's okay. It only cost me about $500, and I made my money back on them already. And it's just another reason for people to stay with my business instead of going somewhere that offers everything. I like to have little things like uplighting. So yes, I've got uplighting. I've got like party speakers, like this guy here, and DJs will bash me for using these party speakers, but I'm making money off them. So whatever.
That uplighting actually looks pretty good, like considering there's quite a bit of natural light still behind you. Like it's giving off a lot of like background light. So okay, you got that. But what I mean, like it looks like a decent little like product to give some ambience to the room, so it's some atmosphere. So for $50, how much do you rent them for, out of curiosity?
It all depends. I like to put things at a regular price, and then I like to throw discounts on things, and that's what really gets the thing. So if someone comes into my website and if they're specifically looking for the uplighting, they're going to pay full price for it, right? But if I'm advertising it and I put a coupon code, I'm going to put it for dirt cheap just to keep the product moving. So these, I think they're like $12.95 each on my website, and then I'll put coupons for $7.95 just so that they fly, or make people happy.
Well, if you bought them for $50 each, like you're still getting your kind of investment money back. So like it adds so much to the atmosphere that people kind of remember your rental business. So I think that those uplights are a great idea. Like I don't even carry uplights, but I think I literally think I might, just because like of your background right now.
Well, they're the Rockville Par 50. They're the best of the cheapest ones that you can get. I've got a video on it on my website. Sorry, I keep plugging my my YouTube channel. I've got a video on my YouTube. But
does the YouTube channel have the link to those uplights?
Yeah, I got these ones off of eBay because that's where they have the best pricing. I think the eBay's link's on there. Maybe it's the Amazon link. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've got a video with some sort of link.
Okay. Nice. And okay, so just in case Tense is getting into like snow cone and cotton candy machines, like I don't actually carry those. I have thought about it. I was just kind of worried about the cleaning and all that stuff. Do you carry any of those items? I don't think you do, right?
Not yet. I mean, I'm trying to break into the wedding thing before I start straying into like bouncers, snow cones. Like the more of the specific party rentals. I'm trying to hit some of the more generic things to boost me before I can start branching out into different sectors. So for me, it's backyard parties and weddings right now.
Right. And actually, like the jumpers, the bouncy castle jumpers. Like if you're doing backyard stuff, that might not be a bad buy a few small bounce houses, might not be a bad kind of investment for you if you're in that space already.
You know what? For the backyard parties, for sure. I mean, because the insurance starts getting expensive when
Right.
you get into, right? And with the backyard parties, you don't really, well, I shouldn't say you don't need insurance. You always need insurance.
Right.
I gotta watch.
Okay, so this is a tough question for you. So, if for all the people that joined us late, Lee actually does bartending. He rents out photo booths, and he does like general rentals. So I'll tell this is my question for you. Don't you want to focus on one of those items?
Great question. Great question. I'm gonna play with these balls. I want to keep this video interesting, as I'm kind of an entertainer on the side too. You know, all of these things, they kind of interact with each other at different times of the year. So I run a top tier bartending service. So I don't really take the cheap gigs. I take only the best gigs. And they don't come from weddings generally for me. They come for Christmas parties from corporate clients. So that's Christmas time right there is when I make my bread and butter, and that's bartending. For rentals, you can't rent tents during the winter, so that slows down. Photo booths are kind of a little bit of both, right? But I've got 2 tiers of photo booths as well. I've got the do-it-yourself photo booths that I do, where people come pick them up and then they run them themselves. And those are great for weddings because brides love to save money. But then I've also got the other photo booths where our staff comes in and then we run the photo booths for you, which corporate clients want. They just want to spend the money and they want to have it done right. And
Right.
so those are kind of 2 different times work at 2 different times of the year as well. So right now everything's working together, and hopefully it'll stay that way with me running the show and doing minimal staffing. But we'll see what the future tells. I'm going to pick the biggest one, and I'm going to go with that down the road here. It's probably going to be rentals. I'm not going to lie, but I can't afford to do it now.
So that's good. Like you plan on like when you're small, like it's not a bad thing to diversify. Like and then the current situation comes into the world. The C word. We can't say it because we'll get demonetized. But and like if you're diversified, like that gives you a bunch of options. Like you kind of go into what's producing some income. Although I think things are getting much better now. Thank goodness. But definitely, that gave us kind of the option because we are slightly diversified. It kind of gave us the option to make some income from random things that, if you're just doing one thing, you might be slightly it's good to focus, but during the crazy times, it gives you some diversification. I can't talk very well, I guess. So that's good though. If one stream of income explodes, you'll stick to that stream of income. And at the end of the day, everything is still related around events. So it's not like a completely huge loss of focus, I think. Now, let me ask you this. Is there any items that you're excited about? Like any new items you're thinking about adding to your roster?
Well, okay, I was going to touch on this item with you because of what's going on right now. One item that's going out every single weekend is projectors, because you know how DJs are pivoting their businesses right now and they're running, movie theaters on blow-up projector screens and all that. Well, I got into projectors, I don't know, a few months ago, and now they're flying off the shelves because everyone was wanting to do a backyard party at this time, right? So I've got a little kit that I rent out, a little budget projector, and projectors are going good. So yeah, just.
How much do you rent that for? Sorry. You don't. Yeah.
No, I rent it for $29, but then people rent the screen. That's an extra $15. Right. They rent the stand on top of that, $5, and then it's extra money, right? For rentals pays for it itself. It's just a cheap one. When I rent it out, I say it works best in low light scenarios. But people don't seem to mind. They just want it, and it's paid for itself. And I want more because I don't know, projectors. It's kind of cool.
Okay, so Um, Jordan always. This is Jordan, by the way, from Tents and Events Rental. He always has he always has problems with employees because he's on the bigger scale. So this guy, he's always asking questions about employees, which is funny. Like, where are you getting your employees, please? Which is an interesting thing because I do see that as you scale up, your problems change, which is interesting and it keeps life interesting. But he says, do you have an employee that would buy into your bar, that would, I guess, yeah, buy into your bartending, that they would be the main ones running the business. That way you're still have some ownership, but you can focus on kind of other things.
Well, okay, so with that, I have multiple staff. Like the bartending, the gigs are few and far between, or else condensed. And so I keep about 20 staff on. So they're not really on. I just have a Facebook group where I call them up and see if they have a gig. There's not really needing to have somebody else run this. I can do it at night when I'm not doing this stuff. I can organize the gigs. It all gets organized through email, and I send staff out on events. The only events that I work myself for the bartending are the gigs where I do the bottle flipping, the fire tricks, the molecular cocktails. And it's totally worth my while to go on those ones because I do charge top dollars. So I wouldn't see where I would make the money having someone else in this.
Right, but I think that's a good solution, like in the long term, because like maybe not for the bartending but like in general, it's a good solution because like look what Adam from Tent Guy is doing. Like he's partnering up with all these people, and basically they're focusing on those different streams while he focuses on like the core of the business. So I think I think long term anyway, like it's not a bad idea. Your kids are distracting you.
Coming storm and things are blowing around it. There's 60-kilometer wind gusts going on out here. I was actually supposed to do a tent setup for a pole tent video that I'm going to have here in the next few days, but I have to wait until tomorrow. So if any of you follow my channel, I'm doing a 20 by 20 pole tent setup with one of my kooky videos, and then I'm going to be doing a 20 by 30 setup.
Okay,
and
nice.
Small potatoes for people like you, Jordan. You fart out 30 wides. Pardon my language. Sorry, Les.
Hey, yeah, no, that's okay. No, I don't know if fart is demonetizable. So okay. Now this is interesting. Like, I know we talked about like the new rentals you might want to get into or buy or whatever. But are you curious or interested in buying any other items? But that I mean like material handling items. Because one thing I noticed is I think it would be good if you had a bigger transport vehicle. I know I've said this before to you, but and the main reason for that is not just because it makes it convenient, but in the eyes of the client, I think you can like charge more once you pull up in like a bigger vehicle. Like they're like, oh, this guy is in a big vehicle, so yeah, he's worth money.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, I was waiting to grow. I mean, with all this going on, it really put a jinx into my master plan. I was supposed to have a big van. I don't know if you guys all watch all of Les' videos. I watch them all twice, probably twice a day. And the van that he has for his company is kind of the van that I'm looking for. I actually pretty much copy everything that Les does, unless I get an idea of my own, because that's what people do. I mean, you find something good and then you kind of repeat it and add to it. And so yes, van is what I want to get. Other than I've got a minivan with a 10-foot trailer, and that's about it. Right.
Yeah, so that's what I think. Like, I don't know, and I think the cargo van. So I have an Econo. I have a couple things, but I have an Econo line 250. And it's like it's like the extended version. So even though it's just like a regular cargo van, it's like there's like 13 feet of space in the back, which is like you wouldn't think that. And you can imagine a pickup truck only really has like 6.5 these days, unless you get the full size, which is harder to find. It's not bad. Like the Econo line is actually kind of convenient, especially for small rentals. I can fit 420 chairs in the Econo line van. Can you imagine 420 chairs? Like it's not recommended because like you don't want to be like it's bad for your back to be like hand stacking and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
the other way to go is trailers, right? But it is weird. Like it kind of depends on where you're at. You're more of like the small city slash like kind of countryside. So trailer wouldn't be bad. Like even in Vancouver, I know an event company that just does trailers, like big trailers, like 20, 24-foot trailers, and plus, and they managed to be just fine in Vancouver. So, and that's really surprising to me. So Jordan, to ask your question, actually, there's not too many cancellations going on. Like literally here in Canada, they announced like a slight increase in the amount of people that can do outdoor stuff from 15 to 50, and we got like a ton of quotes. Lee and I are getting a ton of quotes. The cancellations have pretty much stopped, and we're just getting a ton of quotes, and a lot of those quotes are going to book, and some of them are biding their time, some of them are in limbo, but there's definitely stuff happening, and yeah. So I was watching Tony's channel. I don't know if you guys know Tony, but he's down in somewhere in the southern states. You can tell by the accent, but he seems to be super busy with his inflatables as well. So just in case tents and events, like it seems like that's a popular item. Like we haven't really hit the inflatables yet, Lee and I, but that's something to maybe consider in the future. Like I don't know about drying them and cleaning them, so it's something we might have to learn. And then, so yeah. Hey, I see that white fan back chair. You're sitting on the white fan back chair. So guys, if anybody's looking into getting into wedding chairs, that's like a super cheap chair, and you can make decent money on that chair. It's like super popular.
This is serious. So last year, I don't think I booked any weddings other than my photo booths. And this year, my first item that I had was white fanback chairs, because when I saved my money, I started with these brown chairs, and then and so I was booking backyard parties, and I painted them. I have a video on that so that they look better now. But with all my money, I was able to buy brand new fanback chairs, and brides are just loving them. And the thing is I don't know how much they are charged in every area, but in my area, they just blow the price up. They charge $3.40 Canadian for each chair in my city. So I just take it down to $2.50, $2.49, and they're booked solid. So it's such a great money. Like people just pay so much more for this fan back on top. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no. Actually, that's all my questions. So if anybody has questions for Lee or myself about events or the other stuff that Lee does, bartending, photo booths, then now's the time. But otherwise, yeah, in like a few minutes we'll wrap this up. And we'll
I'm gonna get all here, okay, Les?
Sorry?
I'm gonna get ready to blow a fireball here right away.
Okay, do the fireball then. We'll kind of wait. There's probably.
Okay, keep talking. I'm just gonna keep doing it while I'm going.
Okay, so he's gonna do one of his bartending tricks. Hopefully, he doesn't burn himself or the house down. No, because Lee, I don't know if you hear me, but like I told you, my buddy burned his face by doing it. Like he hasn't done that before, but he. So see, Lee is conscious of keeping everyone entertained. So that's interesting, like when he's booking his clients, he's thinking like, how do I keep these people coming back? How do I keep my clients like entertained? So, having that bartending background, especially with that sort of flair, the flair style bartending, I'm assuming like is really helpful for keeping people like just mentally thinking about that, how to keep bringing customers back. So Lee's getting ready. Fireball time.
Okay, so
don't hurt yourself. I fell off the ladder today, like just a 6-foot ladder, but like I legitimately fell off the ladder. Hold on, let me see if my Okay, yeah, it's not. Okay, how does a viewer leave during your like fireball? It's like someone's like, I don't want to see the fireball. You don't want to see the fireball?
Hey, there's Inflatable Carnival. That guy does bounce houses. He's kind of he does Facebook videos, kind of like we do YouTube videos.
Okay.
And he's very entertaining. He's like dresses up in like carnival clothes and makes really entertaining videos.
Wait. How do I get rid of this? I just want to hide the comments so we see it better. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever hurt yourself doing that, by the way?
Yeah. When I first started out, I mean, I just kind of made things up as I went along, and now I'm a pro, but I wasn't always a pro. And if you're lucky, I'll sell.
What am I supposed to do? Like show my muscles while you're?
Well, why don't you copy me? You probably carry a bottle of Everclear in your.
No, because I've seen my buddy. Like he got burnt the other day. So Art has okay. While you set up here, do you have rental package for certain scenarios outside of wedding packages, such as movie nights, PA packages? Okay, so we'll answer a couple of questions once you're done. But
You having fun yet?
This is not safe. Where's your fire extinguisher? There should be a fire extinguisher at all times. Okay. The corny card. I should check that out. Nice.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
What?
Good job. Virtual clapping. I don't know if anybody's. We should. Okay, nice. No, see, that's what I was saying. You keep your customers entertained, one way or another. I think that translates well into your, into your events business, or actually any business, into your life. You keep people entertained. You keep your wife together with you by entertaining her. Like I don't know. Just some thoughts here. So okay, Jordan says we just had 65K job cancel on us. 50K profit on that day. Yeah, that sucks, eh? Yeah. So we still are getting some cancellations, but weddings are starting to, and we basically changed our policies, right? Like no cancellations. Like you can get your credit, but any of the new jobs, like no way, you can't cancel, like because there's just too many cancellations. So we changed our policies in regards to that. Do you have rental packages available for certain scenarios outside of wedding packages? So I just talked to an event planner and he highly recommended do packages. Like people want packages. Lee is a pro in packages. I think Lee, you do like backyard packages.
Well, that's what keeps me going, right? It gives me something to advertise. I can throw all my stuff together, take a picture. You have to constantly be advertising, and if you make new content, then people are going to keep seeing it, right? And so that's part of packages as well. You kind of have your packages hidden so people can't find them. So the people who are organically coming into your website, or coming in from Google, or the people that are coming in to your website from other locations, they won't see those packages. But then there's the people that are drawn in by the advertisements, and then that's where the packages work, right?
Right.
It's all about getting two different types of customers. So packages work tremendously for me for getting out products that I can't. Like I've got really cheap tents, I've got mediocre tents and really good tents, and throwing my cheap tents out there for peanuts, they love that. So I don't know.
You were gonna say 30, right? I thought you were gonna say 3. I heard a 3 coming out, and then you said peanuts. But maybe that. I'm just imagining things. Never mind. 35. Yeah. That's what I got. Yeah, I kind of rent them for 39, the really cheap ones. Most companies don't really rent the ultra cheap ones. Because like there's a lot of people that don't want to spend $500 for a tent. So they don't mind just grab and go for a cheap one, and then you wash your hands. Like whatever happens. Make sure you write down some liability stuff because those things blow away easier. But either way, they go like lightning. In the summertime, 10 cheap tents daily. I mean for the weekend, right? Friday, Saturday. So those cheap tents are like I would say they're easy, quick money, and it gives people satisfaction. It's like, yeah, this is all I wanted. I didn't want your fancy tent. I just want a cheap tent, and so then they're happy.
You know what? And that's your entry point too, right? Is if you can give them that bottom dollar, and then you can convince them to spend just a little bit more. Lots of you are gonna hate everything that I have to say because it's me undercutting the bigger guys, but I'm the little guy, and the little guy has to do what the little guy has to do in order to grow. So with those cheap things, yeah, people come in and they get the little tents, and you tell them like these are just little, call them sun tents even, and let them know like, okay, this is gonna blow away. You're gonna have to get weights. You're gonna have to get ratchets added onto them. Tell them that they don't have to, but like we recommend it, and then you can start upselling them into the better tents, and by the end of it they're spending a lot more money and they're walking away happy. I don't know, it's
No, it's a good thing, yeah. So Carlos asks about special event sales. That's kind of up in Western Canada, and yeah, that's where we get our tents, both Lee and me, because that's what's nearby us, and yeah, their tents are solid. Their delivery charges are a ripoff, but I mean, what are you going to do if you have to pay an extra $100 and get ripped off $100? I mean, it's not the end of the world. And 20% off. Yeah, so that should be happening. I think that's a March sale. So I don't know if they have that now. I bet you they're kind of busy now.
I was actually just on the email with the girl from Special Event Sales, the clearance store yesterday, and she said that they do have a tent sale coming up. So I don't
That's good to know.
The other store, but I think that all this going on kind of backtracked them a little bit. So
right. They needed a slap in the face. They're too comfortable on those like cushions of theirs. There, you know, they're just we'll charge you $350 for delivery.
Sometimes I feel like I'm in with them and they're telling me, you know, 10 secrets and stuff like that, and then they'll slap an email with like an added charge on it, and it's like, what? Come on, like right. You know, I spent $5,000 with you. Come on.
But then, like the biggest company in your town has an environmental fee. Like you show me that it has they rent the tents, right? But they have an environmental fee.
I don't want to back them because, you know, we were friends. I think that they hate me now that I started a rental company. But yeah, in my town, they environmental fee. I mean, that's I can't hide that because that's actually what they did. I'm sure they do it with everyone, but
you're like the tick. You realize you're like the tick, and you've gotten it, and now you're draining them. You know,
there's people that I feel that get really offended by me, and it's like I am small potatoes. Like when I grow, I will charge more, just like everyone else. Right. But what the little guy does, and if you know what, if you do things my way, prepare to lose friends and prepare to make a lot of money. What do you want to do? So
right. It's about money, you know. Like at the end of the day, we're not like sacrificing our weekends, not to make money, you know. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. 40 minutes is good. I got a client coming in. Yes, clients are coming in, and so I'm excited about the little. They're picking up 2 cheap tents. This is what I'm saying. Those cheap tents work well. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming in and joining us. And Lee, thanks for doing this, hanging out with us and answering some questions. And again, everybody, check out his channel. If you're in events, if you're in the rental business, if you're not subscribed to Lee, I'm sure most of you are. Then you're a fool. No, just joking.
Come to my channel. Put a lot into my videos for you, and I try to give away all my secrets. So I'm all about exposing the secrets.
Yeah, and really, you know, it's not rocket science. If I think most of you do have an event business that are watching this, so I wish everybody luck, and yeah, we'll see you again in a couple weeks or something. Take it easy.
Thanks, Les.